Good afternoon. Hello, this is Michael Swack, and we're about to begin the webinar on the master's program in community development. And I'm just waiting 30 more seconds, a couple more people signing on, and then we'll get started. Good afternoon. I'm Michael Swack. I'm the director of the master's program in community development here at the University of New Hampshire. And I'm joined today by my colleague, Robin Husslage, who will also be on the line. I'll give a short presentation, 20 to 25 minutes, and that will include questions. If you have a question, please click on the chat box, type in your question, and I'll respond throughout the presentation. So feel free to type in a question at any time, and we'll respond during the course of the webinar. So I want to thank you for attending, and I want to start by talking a little bit about the Carsey School, which the Masters in Community Development is part of. The Carsey School has a range of academic programs, applied programs, centers. In addition to the master's program, I have a center called the Center for Impact Finance. It does a lot of work on community development finance. We also have programs on research and outreach. And we have 3 academic programs: Masters in Community Development, Master of Public Administration, and Masters in Public Policy. We'll be talking today about the Masters in Community Development program, which is a program designed for adult practitioners and is a short-term residency program with the rest online. I'll talk about the details in a minute as I go through the program format, the curriculum, the application process, and financial aid. First, about the degree program, let me tell you a little bit about the structure of the program. As I mentioned, you come for 2 weeks in the summer, starting in early June. Typically, people start in June because it's a cohort program. We take relatively small cohorts, 15 to 20 people, and you go through the program and the classes pretty much together. We typically advise people to start in the summer term, although people can start with an elective course in the fall or spring if they choose. But the cohort typically starts in the summer with a 2-week residential part of the program, and then goes online for the fall and spring terms, and then you return for the 4th and final term in the following summer. Again, a 2-week residential period on campus at the University of New Hampshire here in Durham, New Hampshire. The program is interdisciplinary. There are a variety of courses that you take on finance and management and policy issues, and a range of elective courses as well, ranging from courses in housing to courses on the environment, courses in community development finance, a range of courses. And I should emphasize that the program is very applied. It's a program designed for people with who are already working in community development or are transitioning to a career in community development. And when I say community development, including people who work in everything from affordable housing to community development finance to community health to community and economic development. We have a pretty wide range of experiences of people in the class. Let me briefly go through the curriculum of the program. There are a set of core courses that everybody takes. The Integrative Approaches to Development is the introductory course that looks at how we essentially ask you to talk about, think about, and write about your approach, your theory of development. It's the one course that really emphasizes theory. Why are you doing this work? What do you hope to achieve? What do you think works? And we talk about different models. Other core courses include the Policy Analysis course, the economic analysis course, organizational management and leadership courses, and the fiscal or financial management course for community development organizations. The core of the program, what you see there as experiential learning, is a 4-course project sequence that is essentially accompanied by a project that you design in your own community. This is a project that can be related to your work. Many people design a project that's within their workplace, or it can be something outside of your work if you're interested in or transitioning into the field and want to develop a project as part of that, so it may not be related to your work. And it's accompanied by a 4-course sequence in project design, implementation, management, and evaluation. It's really a chance to work on something in detail that you'd like to, and it's the equivalent of a thesis. So it's a project, a 4-course project curriculum that's spread over the entire term, 14-month term of the program, in which you have a lot of opportunities to design something. In just a few minutes, I'll give you some examples of projects that have been designed and developed by people in the program. As I mentioned, there are a range of elective courses in the program as well, and you see some of those listed there.
Michael, we had a few questions come in. Is now a good time to answer a few? One of the questions relates to the audio. It seems to be dropping out a bit, so I don't know if where the mic is, but maybe that will help if keeping your head near the mic might be helpful. So questions are scholarship available for the program and housing for the 2 weeks, and maybe we can address that when we get to that slide. Another question is, how does it work? I'm assuming maybe the program, if one is already working in affordable housing and community development. They're curious, outside of the required on-campus 2-week period, are the bulk of the assignments addressed online?
Yeah, so we'll get to some of that, but let me jump in and give short answers and then expand a little later. The format of the program. I'm going to move forward. These are some of the tools and skills that people address in the project itself. Like I said, there's a curriculum that accompanies the project and a process for those of you familiar with the logic model that's used on the project. But let me get to it. A number of people in the program are already working in community development. Their goal is to improve their skills in certain areas. So you may be working in affordable housing, but you may not know much about financial management or financial forecasting, or you may not be familiar with organizational management tools if you want to move more into the management part. So most of the people in the program have and are currently working in some area of community development, but look at the program as a way of expanding their skill base, learning more about topics that they aren't familiar with, and also using the project, like I said, where you have a lot of flexibility to carry out a project in your community that could focus on an area that you want to explore more. Many people do projects that they come up with as part of their workplace. That is, they say, well, we'd like to develop a new program here. Like, say we work in a community development financial institution. We'd like to develop a new program in micro lending. The project for the program might be to develop the specific goals, the specific, understand the market for that, do some market analysis, develop the product for it. So it may be that you can actually add benefit to your workplace through the project that you do in the program. Again, a lot of flexibility, and I'll give some examples of projects in a minute. Again, in terms of the format, let me just say that move to this program here, the 36 credit program. The format is you do come to campus for 2 weeks in the summer. I think this year it's June 4th through the 19th. You begin to take courses during those 2 weeks. During that first term, you take the introductory course, you take the management course, you take the first project course. After 2 weeks, you go online to finish the term. So that first term is a hybrid course, some in person and some online. Then the remainder of the courses in the second and third term are all online. Typically, these are asynchronous, meaning you do the work when you have time to do the work. Occasionally, some of the courses will set up a time each month where for an hour during the month, you might come online with everybody who's in your class for a particular discussion or presentation or something like that. But for the most part, the program is you do it online according to your own time schedule. So I hope that answers that question. Again, you do come back on the fourth term for 2 weeks in class, again, that hybrid term, finishing up in August of the following year. So we say it's typically a 14-month program. As you'll see, if you want to extend it so that you don't take any more than one course at a time during the online courses during the fall and spring terms, you can extend the program to 24 months. The cost is the same because, as I'll point out in a minute, you pay by course. So here's an example. You can finish in 14 months, the 2 brief summers on campus. The spring and fall terms that I mentioned are online. And then a second summer term, with again 2 weeks on campus. And depending on how many electives that you choose to take during the fall and spring terms, you can extend it. I would say that most students do finish in the 14-month period. There are a handful who extend and will go to 18 or 24 months. Again, it gives you some flexibility depending on the demand you have at home and at work and how much time you can devote during those terms. Again, for people who are thinking about it, we do work with people on job placement. We have lots of good connections. Graduates from the program work in a range of community-based organizations, as you can see on the slide here, nonprofits, government agencies, private corporations, community development divisions of banks, community development financial institutions, consulting companies. So a pretty wide range, and we, if you're looking for work, can be helpful, as well as have a very solid alumni base that can be helpful. Again, just what some of the people do and kind of work they're doing. One of the really great things about the program is the tremendous diversity of the students in every way. So diversity in terms of geographical diversity, with people from all over the United States and overseas, in terms of the composition of the class, racial diversity, gender diversity, and it really creates a very dynamic learning environment. So again, people working in all sorts of careers. This is just a couple of examples. And again, the diversity of the program is a real strength of the program. Let me talk briefly about the application requirements of the program. If you want to start with the new cohort, which starts in the summer, the first week of June, the application date is April 15th. The application requirements are a bachelor's degree, a transcript, 3 letters of reference, a personal statement in which you talk about your goals for the program. That's explained in the application, which is available online, and the application fee. Do want to note that we don't require the GRE. We just found that it doesn't really tell us anything important about whether a person will succeed in the program. The TOEFL is required for international students if you haven't studied in your undergraduate degree in English. If you've already studied in English, then the TOEFL requirement is waived. So those are the application requirements. Let me stop and see if there are any other questions. I will get to the financial.
There have been a few more questions come in, Michael. One is, will there be a period check-in established between participants and instructors? I think that relates probably to the online portion of the program, like how do people connect with the instructor and also with their peers?
Yeah, so that there's a platform that we use called Canvas, which is an educational platform, and which all the readings and discussion groups are posted. The faculty member for each class is online on that class and is available through a email address, which can be accessed directly through the Canvas platform, as are your fellow students. You can routinely post on the discussion board if you have questions to engage. So there are discussion boards on there that relate to both the class activities and outside class activities as well, that the participants can access. So instructors are available. They'll often set up specific times that people can write in or talk to them, but also you can arrange easily through an email a time to directly talk to the instructors. And I think you'll find that they're very available and willing to talk offline as well. Particularly, this is the case of the project, which is co-taught by two of our faculty members, and they are very engaged with all the participants in the program on your ongoing issues around your project development, questions around that. So quite a bit of interaction, both online and offline, particularly as it relates to the project course, which goes throughout the entire program. Another question, Robin?
Yes. Is the 2-week on-campus term mandatory for out-of-state students?
Yes, it is. The 2-week on-campus is an important part of the program. It's the orientation where you get to meet people. And we do have housing on campus, and most people do live on campus. It's graduate school housing, and it's not luxurious, but people say it's fine for 2 weeks. People have meal plans, so you can have your meals on or off campus if you choose, but you have an option of buying a meal plan to eat on campus. So the 2 weeks at the beginning, it is on campus, and then from there online. And again, there is housing if you choose to have on-campus housing that's available, as is a meal plan.
Another question is, are the faculty members field practitioners?
Almost entirely, yes. In fact, I can't think of any who are not. Yes, all of them have worked in the field, often for many years, in the area of specialty that they teach. And that's true from the project class, where the people who teach that have been doing projects for many years and involved in both doing and consulting on projects, as well as the other courses, people very much involved as practitioners. And again, that perspective comes out in both the design of the curriculum, the way the classes are run, where the expectation is that people will actively participate, use examples from their own experience and their own work as part of the class discussion, and also be asked to do analysis. Many of the assignments will focus on looking at a specific type of problem that may exist in your organization, or a challenge, or a success. So yes, certainly practitioners.
Another question, Michael, is this person says, I work in the refugee setup in the field of livelihoods. I would like to know if the program has some courses related to humanitarian and development.
Certainly those issues are covered, for example, in the introductory course. People bring those issues to the table. We look at a range of options, starting with where people are working right now and what are the challenges they face. As currently, we don't have a specific elective class in that area. So like I said, there are opportunities in existing classes to address particular issues that relate to your work. That's sort of built into the curriculum. But no, we do not have a specific elective class that relates directly to that.
The next question is, what's the normal cost for the 2-week on-campus period, lodging plus meals? And I'm happy to answer that because I work with our department that arranges that. And it's approximately $1,100, which includes your dormitory room and your weekly meals. The next question is, if I approve that I did my studies in English, do I need to present TOEFL results? I think you
No,
might
you
answer
don't
part of
need,
that.
TOEFL's not required, and if you did your undergraduate in English, we don't require the TOEFL, no. You would have to send your undergraduate transcript. That's a requirement of all applicants to the program.
And then the next question is, will a recording of today's presentation be made available to attendees, including PPS, which I don't know what that is, but the answer is yes. We will be following up with an email to everyone, those that attended, with a link to the recorded webinar today.
Right, everyone who registered for the webinar will get the link.
Yep.
Just getting back to the costs, as you see on the slide in front of you, the tuition costs for New Hampshire residents. We are a public state university, so there's a slight break for New Hampshire residents. We do also have scholarship funding, which includes grant money. And I would say most of our students who apply for financial aid get some sort of grant support as well. It's based on need, so you'd file a financial statement that we would evaluate, but most of our students receive some sort of grant financial aid. In addition, student loans are available and can be applied for through the university itself. Also, for those who are affiliated with any of the organizations listed below, including, for example, NeighborWorks, Opportunity Finance Network, LISC, National Development Center, all of these have scholarship support that they offer and that we match. So for example, if you're part of a LISC affiliate, they offer, I believe, $5,000 in scholarship support, and we match that amount as well, irrespective of the financial aid application that you send in. And more information about the specific scholarships are available on our website as well. Just a little bit about some of the projects that have been done, where, and let me see, I think there are a couple other questions. I think we've answered most. Robin, do you have others?
I think that's all the questions that have been, oh, one more came in here. Who would be the contact with in NeighborWorks America? They're asking if it's Jana, and why don't whoever reach out to me individually, Robin Husslage at unh.edu. And I'm happy to give you the contact information at NeighborWorks and talk to you about what we do as far as the NeighborWorks program.
Yeah, the information for my email address, Robin's email address, and our admissions coordinator, Sanjeev Sharma, are all on the screen right now, the telephone numbers and addresses. So feel free to contact us. If you belong to any of those organizations, by the way, if you work with a NeighborWorks organization, you can simply apply and check the box and let us know, and then we can work out the details of the scholarship. But it's really pretty straightforward if you're affiliated with the NeighborWorks organization. But we can give you more details about that. But it's not necessary to work that out in advance of the application. Again, I would say if you're thinking of applying this year, the deadline for the summer term is April 15th. If you have any questions in the application process, I encourage you to contact any one of us with the contact information that's on the screen right now. And would look forward to answering any questions you didn't have the chance to ask during this time. Over the next several weeks, please feel free to be in touch with us. Good. So if there are no other questions, Robin, anything else that came in?
Nope, that's it for now. And any questions, just reach out to us and we're happy to respond.
Right. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you're in touch.